Hey lovers, it's your girl Diva. Welcome back. It is February. We are bringing an end to Black History Month. I wanted to let you guys know that the Social Media Book Club, that is the new name of the book club. So if you are a follower of Diva's Book Club and you have been looking for a post, it is now under Social Media Book Club on Facebook. Go over there and take the poll. Let me know whether or not you are wanting to participate in the new version of books that may be coming up this year. So make sure that you're 18 and older and grown enough to be a part of it, right? So go over there. You'll follow the process. It's free to join. President will take you through a few questions to make sure you're grown, as you say you are. And then we will talk about the book of the month. Right now we're reading the autobiography of Malcolm X by Alex Haley. So we've been sharing some posts in there. So that's it on the Social Media Book Club. Make sure you're supporting that. We're going to be talking today about making sure that you are not doing too much of preaching to the choir. So I'm going to go into that a little bit. This is the type of person where if you know that you're doing a lot of telling people what they should be doing, and you kind of sit back and realize that you're doing a less of that yourself. Sometimes we can get too preachy and too caught up in being preachy and advice experts via post on Twitter and Facebook. So we're going to talk about that in just a moment. But right now, tell your friend to tell another friend to tune in to the Ask Diva show. Give me a moment. We're going to do a little bit of ads and come right back. So you can follow me on social media at Miss Diva for you. That is my handle on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, MZDEEVA, the number 4YOU. You also can go to the Facebook page, hashtag ASKDEEVA. You can also find that page on Instagram, hashtag ASKDEEVA. For all things Diva, go to askdiva.onuniverse.com. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, lovers, for taking a pause right there so that we could do a little bit of letting you know how to find me on social media. So don't overdo preaching to the choir. That's kind of where I am this morning. If you are following me on Facebook, then you saw that similar type message post up. So you don't want to just be it, you want to live it. And it brought me back to something that, one of my favorites, may he forever rest in peace, Bishop Long had talked about that a lot. He used to say, hey, I'm not talking to you, I'm preaching to myself, and that's cool. But you don't want to do too much of that because the authentic level of that can start fading away, especially if you are on a 6-day-a-week preaching and telling people how they should live their lives. Then especially if that's not your area, like the diva, you already know that I've written books about that. So relationship expert is what I do. I've been doing this before 2010, but we'll go ahead and let the podcast dates show for itself for 10 years, right? So before that, this is something that I was doing. This was my calling before I even realized it was my calling. So I took one of those, really expensive exams at my university, one of the universities that I attended, to just get an idea. And it always came back, documented on paper from the test in Houston, that you're a motivational speaker, you're an inspirational leader, you're a relationship expert. Those are the things that have always come back. So I'm not just calling myself that by the things that I've done over the years of becoming an expert in this subject of relationships with self, lovers, and people. This is something that's been documented as well. So if this is not your area, and even me, you find me doing less of telling you how to live your life than the average person on social media. So you'll see my posts about politics and, entertainers and music and current events. And you'll see that more than you're going to see me telling you how to live your life and be a better person type post. So when I see an overdose of this, I begin to look at the people that are doing it, and I realize that they're masking things because they don't want you to see too much of them. So whenever you see someone that's constantly talking about how someone else should live their life and how that person's life is doing XYZ, and you kind of see those kind of things happening all the time, and that's all they're doing and not really telling you much about who they are, then it is possible that they're trying to get you to not look directly at them. That makes you wonder what it is that they're trying to hide. That comes away from being authentic and comes, I don't know, in a category of being evasive of sorts, right? So you begin to wonder, what is it that they don't want you to see? One of my favorite quotes from my listeners that they've been hearing me say since 2010 on the podcast from Blog Talk Radio over to Spreaker and on, right, has been, what you criticize in others in a negative way, you identify that within yourself. I just gave you a minute to write it down because it's so powerful, like I've been saying it for so many years, right? So the original post of that, no one knows it. It has an unknown author. It was originated under what you identify in yourself. What you identify in others, you identify in yourself was the original. But the reason why I adjusted that and changed that for the Ask Diva platform is because I find more that we will find things that we'll comment on throughout life, that may not necessarily apply to ourselves. But baby, when you are going through a person who is always doing it in a negative way, what you identify in others in a negative way, you identify that within yourself. Give you another moment to write it down, because it's so powerful. So it's going to make you, it's food for thought, because you need to take a moment to look at what you're actually saying and posting all the time. You need to realize that a lot of people, their mental is in a place sometimes, and they go to social media to scroll to kind of get away from what they're going through in their daily lives. And then every time they come across your post, you're bashing maybe something very similar to their lifestyle and telling them how impossible of a person that they are and what a low life they are for living this and that way. If you're always doing that all the time, you are creating chaos across the world. Right? Because you're impacting all these people, because you guys also have a habit on social media, on Facebook, of hanging on to too many people. Now, when you go to Twitter, when you go to Instagram, that's okay. You're going to have multiple followers, because we kind of do this follow for follow life, right? But you don't really interact with those people that closely, that hands-on. But when you're in your community, I really just want to know what serves the purpose of having 5,000 people connected to your page. You can't monitor that kind of stuff, and you're more personal on Facebook. You're putting your families up and your pictures of your children, and you guys are wondering why all these children are disappearing, and you're posting them up everywhere. Hey, my child goes to so-and-so school. Her teacher is so-and-so. She gets out at 3:00 p.m. and I just love picking her up at 3:15. And then we go over to the yogurt shop at 4. And then we do this and that. You guys stop. Like, you give too much information. So those type of people, you make it easier on them. But you can't really figure out who those people are when you're holding on to 5,000 friends on Facebook. So I tend to keep my list, 700 or less. You know how I do. But most of those people delete themselves because they get irritated with the things that I say that hit home. And I understand that, but sometimes I have to really just kind of call you guys out on some things. So, ladies, there's some posts. Married women, you tend to do a lot of, if you're with this dude and you're doing this, you stupid. If you do this and do that, you're dumb. If that dude is doing this and that to you, you ain't. Stop. Because half of the things that you're posting about your husband did 10 times over before you hit him with enough frying pans for him to stop. You know what I mean? So it's like, if you're going to post it, okay, well, Diva, why can't I just say that? I'm trying to tell her to save her from going through it. No, not really, because she didn't read that in your post, that you identified with her pain because you've been through it. What you really did was just bashed her for something that she's going through, and she sees this facade of a married, happy life that you're putting up all the time, and you didn't tell her your pain and why you knew that it wasn't good for her. So it would be more authentic to say, you know what, girls, when my husband was acting like a BICH, and I had to go through this, and that, because he had multiple women doing XYZ. This is why I think you should not do XYZ. That's an authentic post. So don't overdo preaching to the choir if you're not going to walk it. Live it. Like, tell people exactly what you've been through. Be more transparent. Stop preaching to people and not telling your story. I'm here trying to take off weight, and I'm sharing this, vegan, keto, whatever kind of journey going on, right? I'm just trying everything that I can to stop taking in the bad stuff and start putting the good stuff in. We have a smoothie challenge going on. Let's stop and talk about that for a moment. Smoothie challenge going on. So if you want to join the smoothie challenge, I have a page on Facebook. Of course, it's called Ask Diva. Did you have to ask? So hashtag ASKDEVA, right? So we're going to do a smoothie challenge for the month of March. And the details of how to do that challenge and what type of smoothies and recipes and all that is being shared on the page. So go over there and be a part of that. But in this journey, I'm not going, all you girls out there that are size 16, ain't nothing about what you doing is okay, and you need to be skinny tomorrow. Because I am, you don't see me putting posts up like that. That's not my authentic self. So I'm like, God dang, me and this fat ass of mine, it's time to start taking off the weight. And here's what I'm about to do. So I'm doing the vegan journey, and I'm doing the smoothies, and I'm doing the this and that. And let's hope we take these inches off, right? So it's not being negative about myself. It's just being real, right? So you need to be more authentic. Stop preaching to people and you're not... like you're posting up something, but I don't have to really break this down, because within your conscience, as you're listening, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You know if this is you know what I'm saying. Stop putting things up that you're not living. And if you're going to put it up, stop making it seem as if you're too good and above it. So if you're going to post it, then explain how you've been through it. Book plug, Great Sex Is Not Love and Never Will Be, written by this great author named Ask Diva. She's so confident, right? Yeah, she'll plug her own book. No, but really, Great Sex Is Not Love and Never Will Be on Barnes & Noble and Amazon. Or get it directly from me. I'll sign a copy and mail it to you. No shame in that plug. But in that book, I talk my story and I tell you how I've been through and where I've been in relationships and how I became this person that I am and what I studied and what I personally experienced. And it goes everywhere from being, the loss of a relationship due to physical abuse and that having to end due to that, to the loss of a relationship due to him being killed at war, the loss of relationships due to men cheating, the loss of relationships of people that I met that were not relationships, but because I went through this playalistic diva time where I just dated multiple men. I tell all those stories in Great Sex Is Not Love and Never Will Be. Plug there one more time. So, do you understand where I'm coming from? So, tell your story. So if you're going to be posting these posts that preach to people all the time, don't put them down. Tell them what you lived and the reason why, because you made it through that and your resilience, you persevered past that. This is the reason why I feel that I should be putting this up here, because I went through XYZ. And one time my husband was a this, or my boyfriend was a that, or my girlfriend was a this. You get where I'm coming from? My wife was a that. So if you're not able to do it that way, then you're not being your true authentic self. Is that fair? So don't just post it, live it. Did I make that a hashtag? Let's see. Let's go over there and take a break real quick. I think I made it a hashtag this morning. If I did, then you guys are going to copy it. You better share it. You better tell somebody about it. You better give Ask Diva some credit. No, these are all jokes. So hashtag ASKDEEVA. I said, hashtag don't just type it, live it. Posting something relevant is okay outside of us experts, but be mindful to apply the principles that you suggest for others each day. Hashtag don't just type it, live it. You guys can't make that go viral? Fine. I don't need your viral to exist. But listen, I need you guys to understand that. So It's important that you understand what people could possibly be going through, that you try to be a little bit more compassionate about the 5,000 plus people that you like to keep on your Facebook profile. If you don't think that that's a problem, you need to go through and just click on each one and be like, who is this person? You don't even know who it is. You just want to have big numbers so you can be popular. I am not necessarily a popular person, but the people that are close to me, that do come to me, that do reach out to me, their lives are impacted in a positive way. So I don't lead people down a road, one, that I cannot identify with, and I don't lead them in directions that I feel like it's not going to be good for them. Because when it's beyond me, I have a plethora of counselors and therapists and experts that are just right there that I can advise them over to. So some things are just a little bit beyond relationship tips, and some of you guys need a little bit of straight jackets, and that's okay. So there's somebody out there for that too. So all fun aside, don't overdo preaching to the choir post. Don't. Stop. Preach. Share your story. We all have a story. We all have something we've been through. Share that. People can relate to you better when you can share more of who you are. And a lot of people are going to frown at you. Oh, girl, putting all them dirty laundry out there, baby. Do your dirty laundry at home. Girl, I tried, but your filthy, nasty drawers was in the washer. That cracked me up. But listen, you don't have to worry about that. Step out into your authentic self. Be who you are. Share with people why you feel, ladies, you should do this. Men, you should do that. Share why. Tell what your experiences are. Go into a little bit more detail. Stop putting up those preacher posts. If I look at Facebook, I'll be like, dang. I went from having friends to everybody is an ordained Baptist minister. You know what I'm saying? Like, why did I pick on the Baptist? Had to get myself together. But I mean, seriously, like suddenly everyone is the follow-up of Bishop Eddie Long. I can't stop. Once a joke starts, it won't stop. But seriously, just stop. Like everybody can't preach. I have a message and I can't get it out because it's so funny. Everybody can't preach, okay? Everybody can't lead the choir. So it's important that some people sit in the choir and just sing in that awful alto voice that you were blessed with. And some people just need to sit in the pews, okay? So everybody can't be up there in the front. So some people just need to sit back and absorb and share their stories. Testimony Wednesdays come up. Oh, my God. Oh, I can't stop when they start. So anyway, so you're going to have your moment where you can testify and tell your story. But, everybody's not the preacher, okay? So I'm going to leave that alone. But honestly, like I'm seeing it everywhere. I'm not picking on one person. This is a plethora of people in multiple environments in various states and even some other countries that are doing this. So I had to just get out there, do what I do best, and hopefully it hits home somewhere, right? And help somebody out. People post podcasts and things all the time. They help me, and I absorb it, and I learn from it, and I, go on to be a better me next day, tomorrow. I'm always in competition with the OD, right? And she's always changing every day that she gets up, gets another day in. So live, love, laugh, definitely lighten up. You don't have to be the Dalai Lama. I knew I was going to say. Everybody's not Nelson Mandela. Okay, that's enough. But seriously, like, you don't all have to be that. Sometimes you could just be the little followers sitting there, bringing in the beautiful energy that is the Dalai Lama, right? Like, those are moments that I enjoy. I enjoy being in that follow, listen, humility state, and learning and grasping what I need that is for me, right? All right, you guys, that's it. So I can't stop laughing sometimes. Comedy, missed my calling. So tell your friend to tell another friend to tune into the Ask Diva show. Again, we're going to do another ad to get you some more social media. Smoothie challenge starts March 1st, ends on March 31st. Follow Ask Diva page. Give us your smoothie recipes. Tell us why you like it, how you actually taste it and why it works for you. Tell us your fat girl, fat boy stories, right? So, like, don't go in there preaching about how maca mixed with ginger and sea moss is so great and your ass ain't never tasted it. You know what I'm saying? Woo! Gosh, I can't stop sometimes. Okay, but no, I want you guys to be good. All right, that's enough of that. So I want you guys to be good. I want you to share, go to the Ask Diva page and become a part of that. I hope we have a lot of fun, and I hope we take some inches off. My goal is 5 inches, and so January, starting out on the challenging myself to move over to a vegan lifestyle and going on that journey, I took off 4 inches. So it can happen. It can happen for you. It can happen to you. It could happen for anyone. Okay, that was like a commercial on inches. But so that's what we're hoping for happening with the smoothie challenge. So come be a part of that. Come have fun. Share your recipes. Share your progress. Share your pictures of your smoothies. All those fun things that we're doing with that. And that's it. I have nothing more on this. Tell me your thoughts on preaching to the choir. Did you know, how do you guys feel about people that over preach, so to speak, and you don't necessarily know them to live any of the things that they're posting on Facebook? So tell us about that. All right. So that's all that I have on that. And I hope you guys have a wonderful, Wednesday. So have a wonderful Wednesday. Thanks. So you can follow me on social media at Miss Diva for you. That is my handle on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, MZDEEVA, the number 4YOU. You also can go to the Facebook page, hashtag ASKDEEVA. You can also find that page on Instagram, hashtag ASKDEEVA. For all things Diva, go to askdiva.onuniverse.com. Thanks, everyone.